Why I can't do Jersey, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I
yeah.
just stay in
I can't
Philly.
blame you, man. Yeah,
I get to pump my own gas. I'm happy with it.
It's called North Bergen, and it is one town south of Bergen County.
That's so wild.
Yeah, it's North Hudson. It's Hudson County.
It is Hudson County.
It's Hudson County, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But
All right,
it's south of Bergen County, and it's called North Bergen. So you figure that one out, man. I know, right? But yeah, shout outs to DNA, man. Not only the player, but also the venue and tournament series. Helix Esports, of course, Chris, very familiar with that. RJ, very familiar with that as well. So.
All right, we'll have to see if DNA has any championship glory written in his genetic code, but he'll have to go through Salty Joystick Strawhat in order to do it. The young Link main keeping DNA off of the stage to kick things off. What a setup! I mean, DNA having a devil of a time dealing with the projectiles. And a neutral air keeping DNA at bay. Strawhat, I mean, he's been imposing his will in the opening proceedings. And DNA, he has not been able to get a foothold at all. Finally does so. But wait a second!
Way! Snatching victory from the jaws of defeat right there on the first stock. We see Strawhat just going in the whole time, but an errant down air from DNA is going to be enough to close it out. We see a down smash do the same in return. But man, on paper, I was going to say I think this matchup's pretty good for Falco, right? You've got a reflector that doesn't even attach to your body. You kick it forward, right? So you don't even have to put yourself near harm's way for these projectiles to get sent back. But young Link also pretty formidable up close, and that's where Falco likes to fight generally.
Yeah, and I mean, all the credit in the world to DNA turning garbage into gold on that first stock and drawing first blood after I mean, just getting handled off the stage. But if that's indicative of what's going to happen later on in the set, he can't really afford many more of those mistakes. That might have been his get out of jail free card. I can talk, I promise, man.
It's cool.
Yeah, but Strawhat eventually taking that second stock. Yeah, that's young Link has a sword and he ain't afraid to use it. That down air stays out for approximately the length of one patch. And
Strawhat, though, man, I love that. He put the bomb on the ground, and he was like, all right, this man's going to jump because he wants to, he's going to jump because he wants to hit me from there. But the preemptive down air, I really like that. Falco's legs outranging the Kokiri sword, metal on metal right there. Like my
Max,
brakes,
I'm going to have to ask you to stop coaching. I'm sorry.
Sorry. They can hear me, man. They're mic'd up.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we've had mics on us for the past hour. Are you just noticing this? Lasers. Trying to keep, trying to tell Strawhat, you know what, I've got a little projectile of my own. It has stopping power, and it has ever since Melee. Looking for that grab, will not find it. But Strawhat, once again, piling on the damage and getting that kill from neutral, running up, and one swing of the sword beheads the bird. DNA looking to be feasting tonight.
I think I just split him in half right down the middle.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No,
Ready for some more of that tonight at 9 p.m. on HBO?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Dude, I keep forgetting that Game of Thrones is a thing. And then I'm reminded.
It's not anymore, man.
It's not? What? Ooh.
They ruined it.
Ooh.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, I don't watch it. You can spoil me all you want. I'm cool with it.
Here's the spoiler, right? 7 seasons in a row, like 5.5 seasons in a row, straight fire. And then they ran out of book material, and these showrunners just don't know what they're doing, man. They just don't know what they're doing. But we don't have to talk about that and how gravely upset I am. Right now, we've got some good Smash, and that's cheering me up.
Exactly. I don't know who's writing this stuff, but this is a story in and of itself. DNA, the way that he has gone through some of the best that Jersey has had to offer, looking to stake his claim to the title of one of Jersey's finest, perhaps a potential future PR player.
Who knows, man? Yeah, it's very early in his career from what I can tell.
Yeah, and we were looking at Wraith the same way, not even a few months back, and a very successful Snake who has found wins over people like Leon at venues like Spectrum, and indeed doing pretty well for himself and making it on at the number 13 spot. The grab by DNA. He'll have a bit of a climb if he wants to stake his claim to that title and take on some of Jersey's finest, but he's well on his way after a back air connects, sending that young Link flying. Strawhat of Salty Joystick Gaming will have a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, the up tilt back air for Falco, just such a reliable combo. Lasts forever. The window to confirm that it'll kill within as well is very large. So we're going to see DNA probably take most of his kills in a fashion similar to that But Strawhat, same can be said for him with that forward air, whether it's by way of a bomb or a boomerang or a down tilt right into it. It's probably his most reliable option.
I mean, it's all predicated upon the projectile game. You do not want to be engaging any space animal of any species. Let's be real. In a punch-in-the-face contest, you will lose every single time, and that's pretty ballsy to say. You got Falco Lombardi bringing his fists into a sword fight, but Strawhat will need to keep DNA at bay somehow, some way. I swear I did not mean for that to rhyme. But
it's cool. We got bars here.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, man. Come on. I'm from Philly. Shouts to Meek Mill. And Freeway.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm more the Freeway generation, but...
Yeah, same here, man. Dude, honestly, Philly had some amazing rappers back in the day.
You guys have sick battle rappers.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yo, no, rest in peace, Tech 9.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And, good spot dodge read by DNA, and now... reading the grab. You know what I meant. He spot dodged and he avoided it. That's the thing, the end. Anyway, Reflector throws the boomerang right back in the face of Strawhat, looking to even things up at one stock apiece, and he will not make it back. It seems like, ad infinitum, but he gets the tech. Strawhat, I feel like he deserves an assist on that, unfortunately for him. I don't know if DNA could have made it back, quite frankly.
Yeah, well, he teched the ledge, so that was pretty much the best outcome for him. But if he did a reverse up B, if Strawhat had turned around and sent him out with that, could have seen a totally different story. Either way, DNA bleeding out heavily now. Yeah, going to go down 2 games to 0. And if his run ends here at 5th place, while it would be a tragedy to see an up-and-comer stifled before making it into those singular placements where you don't tie with anybody, it would be a bit of a shame. But, whoa, hold up. That is a serious water bottle.
Yeah.
That's like an entire canteen right there.
Dude, Strawhat knows he has to stay hydrated. And if he knows, if he's going to make a big name for himself, as Wraith has, who was, obviously was a good player in Smash 4, but has started, really picking up the wins on big names and in the first season of Ultimate. As people people on the lower half of the PR, obviously Adamus doing big things on the national stage, and he's ranked 11th in the state, which is so nuts to think about.
I think that's just because he's just getting back into the swing of things. He was ranked, I want to say he made it to 1st on the Brawl PR, but always in the top 3.
Yeah.
Consistently one of our best players, and we know what he's capable of. He's been top 3 in Melee as well, or top 5. Serious run in multiple games, but yeah, I don't know, man. Wraith was good at Smash 4 too, but DNA, this guy is a new, truly fresh face, and I think that's one of the most refreshing things out there.
The thing about this game is that it has brought so many new faces into the scene, and those who have just kind of were playing Smash 4 but are now coming out of the woodwork, to make their names known on a big stage like Master Hand Gaming. Strawhat and DNA proof positive of this, and really the prominence of Salty Joystick in recent months has been nothing short of impressive. Obviously, Busk has been a very consistent force of theirs, but Vince, the Roy mate, picking up a win on Shoyo James at the Scarlet Classic, and indeed Strawhat making it to top 8 here. No shortage of representation for Salty Joystick, and indeed that will continue for many months to come. But as we go to Pokemon Stadium, it will be a 2-0 lead for Strawhat. DNA looking to get on the board. What does he need to do here, Max?
I think he needs to be a bit less afraid to just scrap with Young Link, right? Right now I'm seeing him go for a lot of the projectile-based stuff, but yeah, okay, he's turning up the heat. Just wants to get in his face, get these grabs, get these aerials. But Strawhat's pressure is just too clean, both up close and from afar.
Forward air. Strawhat. Swinging the sword. Trying to keep him at bay, and indeed doing so. Keeping him on ledge, and indeed gonna get
wow, the grab release into nothing.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I think he wanted to let him go, right? And just see what DNA's option out of the grab release would be. But since he got the air release, it's a little bit more ambiguous. Got some more time to figure something out.
Neutral air is going to put Strawhat into disadvantage, and honestly, I feel like it's not very often that we've seen DNA on the back foot and getting pushed back in a face-to-face melee. It's honestly, I got taken aback a little bit. Strawhat showing no fear and gaining a little bit of confidence, garnering up a little bit of swag, and he's displaying it, man.
I just want to point out
extremely well.
how big brain what Strawhat did just before was he down aired, landed right next to his bomb laid on the ground, knew it wasn't going to explode until just after he was able to put his shield up. Then it hit DNA and he popped out a shield with the back air. Didn't turn into anything, but it was still just extremely impressive. Fends off the pressure with the get up attack. But this is far from over for DNA. Yeah, you might have shaken him in that one spot, but you're still bleeding out super heavily, and some poor DI in the neutral air gonna send him to an early grave. Got Strawhat one stock away from going to the loser semifinals here, where he'll be taking on Greg Gonzalez.
Indeed, and what an opportunity to make a name for yourself potentially against the number 4 in the state. However, he needs to get through DNA first, and a bright future for DNA for sure, but he doesn't want to be thinking about the future right now. He's got a challenge ahead of him. A potential reverse 3-stock will be what's necessary, and Strawhat not able to make it back. A mistake at the ledge, and Strawhat cracks the door. Will DNA kick it down?
This is looking at least possible for DNA now. Before, when he was down 3 stocks to 1, I would have written him off. But right now, I don't know, anything could happen. We saw it happen in the very first stock of the set, where a clutch down air was enough to send Young Link too far to recover. But another poorly DI'd neutral air, and both of these guys kind of laughing that one off. DNA knows he could have survived that for sure. He could have survived the last one as well. But hey, it's in the past. Can't get too hung up on it.
It is the recent past, and frankly, time heals all wounds, but that one is fresh. DNA, he has nothing to hang his head about. He goes out in 5th place after a very solid showing, an incredibly bright future for the young man, and we look forward to seeing much more of him in the weeks and indeed the months to come. But the day belongs to Strawhat, who earns his match against the Great Gonzalez in loser semis. But
that's a run back too from winner's bracket, by the way.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, so will be interesting to see how that turns out. And Strawhat, frankly, he got handled hard by Great Gonzalez. Yeah, and he just seemed